it, so I'm going to have to make a mental note to remember that we're recording there and we're recording.
Yeah, but you need to sweat this. Just, it's a podcast that you're recording. It's not like a video you're making. So it's going to be a video that gets posted, but it's different. You don't need to.
You don't have to look at it.
I just got so excited. Okay, and now we're recording on iTunes. So, as I said before, you can always find us on iTunes, but now you can find us on crossup.com. YouTube.com/crossup. We are live and on video now. To my right, Christian Cook. To my left, my friend Emily. Emily just finished the Chatty Jack race as well as Christian, and we're hearing about how their experiences were. So Emily,
Yes.
how'd you do?
You did well.
Yes.
I paddled.
I'm having deja vu.
I know. I paddled with Caitlin Grady, and we won the OC2 women's division.
Did she get on your nerves at any point in that race?
During the race, no.
No? After the race, yeah, then.
After the race.
During the race, no.
Yeah.
Really?
No. No.
There's sometimes it's partner breakdowns.
Pretty
fun.
I think during the race I was so happy she was my partner because
Yeah.
I saw other partners like yelling at each other.
Wow, really?
And
I believe that. Yeah, that's my point.
Like when we came off of the starting line, I didn't know personally a lot of women's groups, but like everyone seemed very like we have to win.
Yeah.
And I don't Caitlin's a very calm person, and I'm a pretty calm person. So we just kind of were like, let's do our own thing, and it's gonna end up how it ends up.
Yeah, and understanding what has to go into the race in its entirety is a key point, because there were a lot of groups sped off. And then you're just clipping them off, And some of them, there was two ladies, we didn't pass till the 18-mile mark.
Yeah, they were the same. Yeah.
So everyone starts at the same time, men's, women's, 2s, 1s, 6s?
Yes, except for the subs.
There's two different times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subs and skis go first, and then
Yes.
OCs and all that starts second.
So, is it more challenging in the beginning with all the other boats around you, trying to navigate that and not push into people?
It kind of was. It wasn't as bad as other races where you have kind of a narrow gap you have to fit into. Because you have the whole river, but everyone wants a certain part of the river, I think. And
if you're behind certain boats, you're going to be slowed up. Dalton and I got spun out in the beginning. We just stopped. This guy came up, we tapped this guy's tail, he spun out, we just stopped paddling immediately.
What do you mean spun out?
You get spun out, you literally get spun out. Yeah, you're dead in the water. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if someone just took 10 strokes, they just got 600 feet on you. So we basically had to come up, which was good because as we were paddling by Bill, Robbie, Emily, Caitlin, Noah, Mark, and those guys, and Max and Maddie, as we would get next to them, I would just be like, we're just going to paddle smooth as fucking silk, so these people are just like, fuck, those guys aren't even working. So there's gamemanship that goes on as well. But it's pretty not at all. And sometimes you're behind somebody for a bit that's not in your class because it's so tight, but then it opens wide out.
Do you try to group by class before the race starts, or you just wherever you can get it?
No, because people take different lines and do different things.
But everybody's kind of aiming for a certain line to get started?
It's hard to tell, because I was thinking about that. I read my speed coach a lot, so I would just tap the pedals pretty quickly, and as you're stroking you can see which line is faster, and then I just follow the faster line, or follow what the water was doing on top. So if I saw little ripples going that way, I was going to try to catch the little ripples.
Because there's sometimes you're going against the wind and against the currents, or with the currents against the wind, and it feels like it's harder, but you're actually going faster than you would where there's no bump against you. There's a lot to it, man. I lost my watch, so I lost that on after 18 miles.
You lost your watch?
No, it just stopped. It burned out.
And
it sucked because it
yeah,
definitely passes time and lets you manage it more.
definitely.
So do they always burn? I mean, how long is the race? Like, how many hours?
That is really dependent, I think, on.
4.5, more than 4.
So this watches on
These
last.
fully last, I just didn't charge.
Oh, you
Just didn't matter, yeah.
Mine was fully charged and
Oh, yeah?
died.
You need a bigger watch, I guess.
I guess it's kind of little.
What's a speed coach?
It's basically like, it does the same thing that your watch does, but it's a bigger face and it lasts for a lot longer.
Yeah, way more detail.
And what does it tell you?
It's real
It
sensitive.
tells you like miles per hour. I mean, there's so many
Distance per
settings.
stroke.
Yeah.
What is it?
Speed, how many strokes you're doing per minute. You can do average strokes per minute. You can do average distance per minute. I think you can do all those.
Yeah.
It's just a very high
Time
end.
miles.
I think they use it for sculling. Was
Oh,
the
yeah.
original purpose for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're expensive, man. They're like 400, 500 bucks.
Yeah.
I've lost 2.
And it's like the size of a GPS or a GoPro or something.
This big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah, it's like
send
a
you.
GoPro but twice as big.
Have you noticed they send you the floaty with it?
Yeah.
But the floaty
So
doesn't.
Scam.
If you
I know.
drop it in, it sinks to the bottom with the floaty. Yeah.
It's like getting a condom with a hole in it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
does the floaty, does it wrap around it or is it just?
It
Chain
comes
to
with
it?
like a little like a loop with the floaty on it,
Right.
and
So
it's better if you like tie it to something. But
We'll get like 4 more floaties.
or yeah, I put
Tie a
a
bunch of
huge
floaties.
fishing bobber on it and like ripped.
Yeah. Oh, that would be horrible.
Yeah. Would be
I've already done it.
unfortunate.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Max lost one. Not his fault. He could have saved it. And then, well, it wasn't his fault.
But he could see.
He said he could have. He's like, he was crying. He's like, I could have saved it. I'm like, dude, I'm mad. I'm not mad at you though. It happens, man.
Better that sinking than him.
Dalton turned into an adult out there. Like, we were getting ready to take off. I'm like, do you have ibuprofen? He's like, man, I don't need any ibuprofen. I'm thinking this young buck, you don't need any ibuprofen. That's pretty good. Take off, we get like 18 miles and I'm like, my back is killing me. So I
Yeah.
take 4 ibuprofen and I put it in the bag. And he goes, you got any ibuprofen? I'm like, bro, I took them all, man. He's like, my back is killing me. And I'm like, well, you just turned into an adult, dude. Welcome to the rest of your life. So he fought through it, man, and paddled a good paddle.
Has he done that race before?
Yeah, we did it last year. We hit a log.
Right.
We were going back for a little redemption.
Not as an expression, but you actually hit a lot.
We actually hit a log, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good paddle though. But Caitlin and Emily almost caught us at like the 22, 23 mile mark.
Yeah. Then you
Okay.
turned around.
What happened?
I was like, Caitlin.
They were like this sneaking up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Caitlin, you'd be so pissed if we beat them. And Caitlin's like, yeah, I'd probably also be happy too. And then I was like, but I don't know if we're gonna. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna do it though, because the second he turns around, they're gonna turn it on. And we got, I don't even know how close we got, but I just saw your head like go back, and I was like, oh, it's over.
Did you know who it was?
Oh yeah, of course, man, yeah. I saw the look on their face when I saw them too, which was pretty great, because they were pretty close. And I go, Dalton, Caitlin and Emily are right behind us. Dalton's like, that's awesome. I go, I didn't, I wasn't like, yeah. I was like, dude, can we do something about that? He's like, yeah, let's go, R10. And we started gathering it out. And we actually put, when I looked at the time, and this is what kind of made me think about it a little bit more. When I looked at the time, we had put like 4 minutes between us in that distance, which was like about 8 miles, which was a good amount, which kind of shows you that like there was a time in there that we weren't focused in we were working hard, but we weren't working our best.
Yeah.
And when I think back, during the race, I was like, man, I was focused the whole race, felt really good.
Yeah.
But when I look back now, God, I made so many mistakes. And that, you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, even.
I mean, winning, it's just, you just won. It doesn't make the paddle any different.
Right, yeah, no. And even, we did that too, where we kind of got to the middle of the race. We wanted to catch those girls, and Caitlin was like, should we, or she was like, I'm ready to, like, go to catch them whenever. And I was like, I just remembered from last year how everyone got tired at the end. So I was like, why don't we just sit here, and they're working so hard.
Especially if you're like 20 miles in, 22 miles in.
Yeah, I was like, they're working so hard right now, and I just think if we stay where we are, and we stayed where we were, and we caught up to them, and they tried to draft us for a second.
Oh, but you guys, the thing is, it's two totally different paddle techniques going on there.
Yeah.
They're like marathon canoe paddlers.
Yeah.
And you guys are more like Hawaiian, Tahitian style outrigger paddlers. They're bent arm like this, pop, 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 pop,
Yeah,
pop,
they were
and we're like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think as you go longer, it seems like the longer, well, I don't know, because some of these guys do 300 miles.
I know, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But yeah, when Kaylin was like, they're drafting us, I was like, oh, we'll just chill for a second then. So we kind of chilled, and then we pulled away to catch you guys, and I just think we got relaxed like for a while. Like we were just kind of like, Kaylin's like, I don't feel like I'm working at all, and I was like, me either. But like we felt like we were working, but not like we didn't feel tired or anything like that. And then
Were you eating every 45 minutes?
no, so I like gorged myself before the race,
Yeah.
and
Like, what do you mean, what'd you eat?
So at 5 a.m. I woke up and ate a macro bar, and then right before we left I ate a bowl of eggs, avocado, sweet potato, and then, oh my gosh, and then I ate a sweet potato at the race, like when we got to the race thing,
Yeah.
and then I ate...
Were you afraid you're going to have to shit before the race?
Oh no, I did shit before the race.
That's like priority one is like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, you don't want
I take that like calm magnesium stuff
Yeah.
the night before, so I know it's gonna like come out the next morning.
I had to
I'm
piss for
set.
mile 6 and held it the whole time.
Really?
Because I didn't want to stop. You stopped.
Why didn't you just
stroke.
pee your pants though?
I could not.
Oh,
I couldn't let it
man.
go, man.
I peed every single hour.
No, I wish.
I have a small bladder.
Why? Because like you're
Well, ours is going
It is
through a
hard,
straw.
yeah.
leaning forward, or
It's going-
because
It was like, I was like, Kaylin, I'm sorry, the boat feels weird right now, like I have to relax.
That's the
My
thing.
body.
You gotta totally relax. You gotta miss it. And then like, if you don't get there right away, then it's like freaking
Yeah,
shitty.
yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Uh,
I just held it.
yeah.
But yeah, I just like, and then I ate the electrolyte gummies and then some gummy worms, and that was my like all my pre-race food, and that lasts me until like mile, it was either 15 or 17.
Did you get hungry?
I didn't quite get hungry yet, but I was like, I should eat before I start to feel weak.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this like last year it seemed so easy. I just like opened my pocket, grabbed the gummies, opened them, shoved them in my mouth. And this year I opened my pocket and I was like trying to grab the gummies, and I was like, okay, got him. And I pulled out a hand warmer. I was like, no. And Kaylin had been so fast with her food. I was like, oh, I'm missing so many strokes. And I grabbed the pack of gummies, and I like couldn't open them. Once I got them open, I grabbed as much as I could and set the rest on my lap. And I ate those, and I guess some of them like fell out around my feet and everything, so I didn't get all of them. And I thought I was good. I would eat like one or two that I found like a few miles later.
In the water?
Like
just
just in my lap. Yeah. No, there were some.
It's like
at the
finding a
end.
French fry underneath your car seat. You're like, "Whoa."
It's like a dog. It's like a dog finding a green bean
Yeah.
underneath the refrigerator.
Yeah, there were
Staring
some
at
like
it for-
in the footwell at the end, and the lady's like, "Oh, your gummies," and I was like, "I guess I'll eat those
You can
now."
have it.
But then at mile, what was the really bad mile? The one where the wind
Like
just
26, man.
Yeah, it was. It was. We were like, oh man, we're smashing
That's
the
when
record.
it's like, you're like, it's gonna be a long fucking day, man.
Yeah,
As soon as those winds are on you.
yeah. And
Were you
we
faster in the middle or to the sides?
were faster to the side.
Yeah.
But we came around that corner, and it was like I felt great, and then all of a sudden, like I didn't have enough protein, and my body was just like shaking, like not tired, but like it just wasn't like functioning right. And I was like, Kayla, my whole body's shaking. She was like, here, take some of this protein drink. And I thought that there was barely any left. And so I like took a swig and stopped. And Kaylin's like, isn't there more? And I was like, no, it's empty. And so I just kept going on that, and that just sucked. And those girls caught up to us
Wow.
during that thing, and we're like, oh no. and then it kind of like.
Are you like,
turned
oh
on
no,
my
or are
brain.
you like, these bitches?
I was
Not in a bad way. I mean, you know, you want your competition to do well, but sometimes
get
you're
it.
like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, and then I get that feeling like absolutely cannot let them win. And we wanted to beat the record, and I knew we were like right on top of the
How much
record.
did you beat it
then.
by?
Oh, so actually, have you compared your time with the Chattajack time?
No.
Okay, so me, Zach, and Pete all compared our times with their time.
With whose time?
With Chattajack.
Oh, yeah.
And Pete's is like 4 minutes past his time, Zach's is 2 minutes past his time, and ours is like 1.5 minutes past. And we all started it like right before the horn. So I'm wondering if like something set off the chips, like with that front boat.
Threshold that you pass.
If you were sitting there and it like set off your chip.
Makes sense.
Because they put us at 4 seconds past the record. And I think
Oh, you
we're
missed
like
it by
a
4
minute.
seconds?
Yeah, for their time, but on Caitlin's watch, it has us beating it by 1 minute, and she started it before the horn. So I was like, but you can't really, like, you can't go to them and like say anything.
No, because
so
it's not right. It's
It's
like,
like,
say.
yeah, and so we were just like, next year, like,
No mistakes.
yeah,
At the start.
yeah.
And then you got 31 miles. So
yeah,
it's like you wait, I know the feeling, you wait to get there. Like for me,
yeah,
I felt like, okay, we got back to the 25-mile mark.
right, yeah,
Now I went through all that just to get back to this
Yeah.
25-mile mark where my fin
Yeah.
got freaking broken.
Yeah.
So we could go and do what we're going to do.
right. And last year was a fast year, and this year was a slow year. And we compared the times of the people from last year to this year, and it's anywhere between like 10 to 30 minutes.
Slower.
This year.
Wow.
So we were like, if we could get it then, why not try to like really go for it next year?
Yeah.
So maybe there was a malfunction with the chips this year.
I don't think the chips, I
I
think
don't know.
that's pretty close.
Yeah.
You know, talk within a couple of minutes on a race like that.
Yeah.
And the system they have is pretty advanced stuff.
Yeah.
Is
You
it
can't get more advanced. But she's right, as we creep down there, maybe the people that, I don't know.
Is there a starting line? Like,
It's supposed to be
It's a cool way
behind
to
the
do it.
boat, but I know as we were drifting, like we could have drifted before they blew the horn, and our chip could have set off when we were
Yeah.
right next to the boat.
It is literally the best ran race you could ever possibly know.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
so high, so classy, quality.
Yeah.
You got bagpipes, you got, national anthem getting sang, and
Yeah.
mist coming off the river when the leaves are changing. The
Yeah,
after, party is incredible, and the
Yeah.
whole setup is just
yeah,
astounding, man,
Super
on the
nice.
level. Yeah.
people
And there's a sprint, there's a 200-meter sprint at the end.
yeah,
So you paddle 31 miles,
yeah,
and then you got a sprint.
Oh.
yeah.
And then whatever, first, second, third place, then they do a sprint award out of the first 3 people.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is this a nationally known, internationally known race?
I'd say internationally, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy that it's in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
It's Ben Freeberg.
Huh?
Ben Freeberg?
Uh,
Says it.
He's the
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call him Ben, I'm the last name guy.
Is it for charity or
I believe he uses it to give back to the community. Yeah.
Wow.
And how many OCs, how many stand-ups do you think?
Oh.
Over 400-ish?
400 each.
I'm not, 400?
Yeah, total.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe 500?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It sells out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
goes out
it
May
does.
1st, 2019. It'll sell out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was up on time
Yeah.
registering, and my number was 508.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you
Yeah.
guys were close to me because you were what was your
Yeah,
number?
we were 339, I think.
339.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's still, you were right on it, right?
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
the second it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes by 1, 2, 3, 4.
So there's
Yeah.
at least 500.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. And they can take all those and
A
the
lot of
results
people
are
drop out like throughout the year though,
Mm.
as
That's
it gets
true.
closer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe
I think
they
people
take
want
that.
this big challenge, and then reality starts hitting, and they're like, my throat
Yeah.
really bothering me.
Yeah.
Because it fucking sucks out there sometimes,
Yeah.
man. It's not all butterflies and rainbows.
Yeah.
And Emily, you do a lot of races. You do races like every weekend pretty much, don't you?
Yeah, it depends on what is available.
Uh-huh.
And a certain month.
And how does Chattajack compare to the other ones? Mentally and physically, and just the experience?
Chattajack's kind of like, I don't want to give I don't want to push myself as hard as I do all the time in other races. Because they're shorter, so I can exert myself more. But if you do that in the beginning of Chattajack, I feel like by the end you're just spent, and then you have to try to catch people, and you don't have anything left really. But if you kind of like hold it back, I feel like I get faster as the race goes on in general. So if I kind of hold back, I like loosen up, and then like by the time I do have to pass people, it's just they're getting tired.
I think with the difference between Chattajack and the shorter races, you can have laps and technique. People can have laps and technique and do pretty good, man.
Yeah.
They're powerful and they're strong and they're in good shape.
Yeah.
But the technique past 20 miles, if you don't have technique, that boat's not going to move. And I've seen it over and over in these races, is when you hit certain mileage, if you don't have technique, when the muscles are gone, it's not, you're just going to have breakdowns. And you like, Cindy sees everybody's face when they come across the finish line, and she's like, "Are you all right?" People are, "Yeah," but they're not. They just think they are, but they're done. There's some really good pictures that we posted of people coming across the line. They're
just their faces.
Tells the tale, man. So what it's really like.
Yeah.
But that short race, long race, as you get into more distance, I mean, you gotta have technique, man. And the legs gotta be doing the work at that point.
Yeah, like those the second place women's team, they could have beat us in a short race. They were already beating us.
They would have beat us for 18 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
But it was 32.
It was 32, yeah.
They say 31, but I swear that thing's 32.
It always says 32 on the watch, yeah.
So what do you think you prefer? I think I know the answer, but do you prefer short races where you're just muscling it out, or long races where it becomes all about technique and survival?
I don't really prefer either one. I like that there is Chattajack because you don't get that from other races. That kind of like endurance, you have to
self-doubt,
agony. Like it's like a journey, where another race is a very short journey.
It's just a training day. That's not a training day.
Yeah,
that's an event.
Yeah.
You know that when you're doing shorter races, you know that afterwards you can go to Publix and do whatever you need to get done.
Publix after Chattajack.
But you could
do what I want. No, I'm just kidding.
But after Chattajack, you're like, I just need to stop moving my body for a couple of hours.
It's pretty exhilarating if you finish. So even though you're smoked, if you finish, it feels awesome. If you didn't, it doesn't feel awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a humming buzz, kind of, and you finish big events like that.
It's even like, I can only compare that to M2M last year when everybody raced and I got up to like the day before, but I couldn't race, and like watching everybody finish, like I was happy for them, but you're just like, oh, come on.
Because you went to Hawaii to race, and then you got food poisoning, and then you couldn't race.
Yeah, or stomach virus or something, but heartbreaking.
I was at the table when we finished.
Oh man, stupid.
We had a blast. We just registered for the race coming up.
Right.
Max is registered. I registered this morning. We're going to register Noah later on today.
Yeah.
Who's Noah? You're doing it with Max?
Noah's going to go with Maddie, which I think is a good setup for them.
They're
both super explosive, super powerful. Noah's skill in wave riding, and Matt's, Matt's getting ready to have a breakthrough here pretty soon. I really think so. I think physically that he's so fit that I think once that technique really starts to grab hold, that he's just going to go boom, boom, boom. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All these guys are starting to move.
His legs are so strong.
He's just so strong, man. And he just understands how to move.
Yeah.
He probably wrapped both of my legs together and threw my arms in there too. That's like one of his legs. Just
his ass cheek is like that.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Sometimes he does an elephant walk and goes, look at his ass. Ridiculous.
Who else did the race?
Steffi Davis, Shannon.
Mm-hmm. So this is the
Vanessa.
This is the OC6. Women's
Anna.
OC6.
Anna.
Yeah.
She did a good job, so I'll say Anna. And Jade and Michelle.
Who steered?
Yeah.
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 And how did they do?
They did great. They had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all happy.
Yeah, they
Happy
seemed
with
okay.
themselves.
They weren't happy at the very end, which I thought was pretty great, but they were happy. I love it. I love it. That's what fucking paddling is. People are like, you know, don't you feel? No, man, that's it. That's it. I'm not selling.
Don't you feel what?
Feel just whatever, you know. Aren't you? They pedal 31 miles there. No, I don't feel it at all. I feel none of that, to be honest with you. I don't feel any of that. What I feel like is I'm sharing a true experience, and now they're really experiencing all the things I talk about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like all the fluff and all the selling you that this is cool and you should do this and that. I don't do that. I'm selling you the truth, and the truth is it's fucking harder than you could possibly fucking imagine. And nobody's babysitting you, nobody's looking out for you, and you know you rely on each other. They got 6 people to rely on, and they did it. You know, and they did it in that fashion, and that's the experience that I'm sharing. That's so much more important than me babysitting them and the boat's going out and I'm like, don't do this and don't do that, and I'm babysitting them when they're finishing. No. Yeah. No, man, I'm teaching them to be water people and to be paddlers. That's a different level. Yeah. That is, you get your boat to the water, you get your boat in the water, you do the mileage, you do the work, you feel like you want to quit, you fight through, you bond together. Maybe you got problems on the water, but you work it out, and then you finish the race, you're exhausted, you can barely stand up, and then you unload your boat and do what you got to do because you're an athlete. That's what athletes do. That's the real stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not babysitting anybody. And they were awesome, man. They did exactly that.
Was there a cross-up men's crew of OC6?
Well, Max and Maddie did it. Matt was going to do V1, but then he did us a favor and went with Max. And they had a blast. That's why I wanted to get Maddie on here too, because telling his story. Yeah, because he wasn't. Max was like all chill. Matt was like, what the fuck, right?
Matt's never been on.
He was like distraught for a minute, man.
Yeah, right.
He was like out of it. He's like, Max is saying hi to people. I'm like,
yeah.
But that's Max. Though.
Yeah, he ain't tired, man. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get Matt. We've never had him on the podcast.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get Matt and Max, because I was thinking, Caitlin's out of town, so I was thinking Emily and Caitlin.
Oh, yeah.
You know, doing like that, so you could get different sides or different views. You know.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't know, maybe Caitlin was like, I can't fucking stand this girl. I gotta do 10 more miles with her. You don't know. We don't know what she's thinking.
I don't know.
I'm sure don't.
In the middle of the race.
I doubt it.
In the middle of the race, she didn't see the women's OC2 in front of us. She was like, we gotta catch up to Bill and Robbie. And I was like, and then we gotta catch up to the women's OC2. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, there's a women's OC2, like way up there. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't see them. And we keep paddling. And they're still, like, for a while, we were just like, same distance. Like, it would kind of look like you close it, and then you get further. And I was like, oh. And she's like, Emily, we gotta win. I told everybody we were gonna win. I was like, Caitlin, what the heck? And I was like, great. Now, it's like, now I can't let all of her friends down.
That you don't know.
But prior to that, you were working on the level you could have been working at.
Yeah, probably.
So, and that's exactly my point was when we saw you guys, it was the same thing. It's like, you know, when you're already there and you're already working your ass off and you're giving all you got, and then you have these things that happen that make you give way more than you thought you could ever give.
Yeah.
Those are all the and then you're like, oh no, I'm really up here. This is a level I can perform at.
Yeah.
But it's weird when you get those mental jousts like that bounce you up. Because all I was thinking when I saw you guys was like, fuck, now I gotta fucking really get to work. Which I should have been there already. You know, so like figuring out why we weren't there is important, and like thinking our way through for the next time. You know, to be at a higher level, and then what happens? Are you at a higher level and it happens again, you get even higher?
Yeah,
I hope so. I hope it keeps going like that, but, you know, you learn a lot from realizing what the body can really take. You think you're maxed out, and then you're like 25% harder. And you're like, fuck, dude, this is actually easier than where I was. It's going a lot harder is actually easier.
Yeah.
Did it seem that way when you started going harder, that it was?
It didn't feel like, I mean, I wasn't going into like an all-out sprint, I just went like a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what made us catch them.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So you won the race, but is there anything that you do differently in 2019?
So this was kind of like, I kind of wanted to do a science experiment on this. Me, Zach, and Pete were talking about it. Basically, like, we don't know what the bottom of the Chattanooga River looks like.
Yeah.
And we don't know if it's just a U or if it kind of does like that or anything. And everybody thinks that the fastest flowing water is in the dead center of the river. But I was kind of thinking it's not, because if you're holding a hose and the water's just coming out, it's
Is this
pretty
going to
much...
be brilliant?
No, I don't know. It's coming, like, the fastest parts might be in the middle,
Right.
but I was thinking if you put your finger on the side of the hose, it comes out faster because of the friction.
Right.
Yeah. So if you have a big river
With a different contour on the bottom?
if it is in a U shape, I was thinking, and it says on Google that the water flows fastest in the middle, but if the river's that big, I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
It totally makes sense. I figured out exactly where the heavy water is.
Where the heavy water is?
Where the fastest water is, you know the contour, look, when they surf pipeline, all those guys most of the guys that surf it study the bottom contour to know where everything is to understand how the waves work. So it totally makes sense.
Yeah, and then I was like, you could even test that by making a bottom and then taking like little floaty things.
The fucking degree's finally paying off.
That are equal, and then giving them dividers that don't go into the water but just stay on the very surface of the water and have equal flow, and see which of those little guys.
But over
gets to
31
the
miles,
It is going to change.
the bottom of the water is
Well, I
Generally.
know, I'm sure somebody knows that. I bet you Theo knows that,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
he's up and down that sucker all the time.
yeah.
Do they have local paddlers in Chattanooga?
Oh, yeah, they got quite a few.
So those guys could.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Great group of people.
Yeah, I just noticed that like when I was in the center of the river versus between the center and the
But
side.
it wasn't always that way.
It wasn't always, no, there were
It could've been
sometimes
the
the
way,
center
it
was
could've been the
faster.
chop, and it
Yeah,
could have been that your board, if you got waves
Yeah.
coming at you, your boat is only touching it less than the
Yeah.
entire surface line.
right,
So that's kind of what even though I didn't have a watch, I figured, well, I want surface line
yeah,
versus, because the nose caught a few times going that way.
yeah,
So as soon as we got surface line, it seemed to run better.
yeah,
But Dalton and I when we got beat by, I think everybody that beat us, the youngest might have been 55
okay,
of all the crews that beat us. I mean, there was two guys that
wow,
maybe 65, 70.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
think those people were local?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if they're local, but they're marathon canoe guys, the
Mhm.
second group. The other ones, though, they beat us by a good pound. And the first group beat us, but think about that. Dude's like 70 years old, spanking us. It's
Yeah.
just very motivating, man. Yeah.
yeah. I think age is definitely not.
Is that due to technique?
Well, I got some philosophies on it. Yes, technique is a huge part of it. But these guys probably do 100, 300 mile paddles. Marathon canoe guys do paddles like that. I think that when you get older, you're in so much pain all the time that it's totally normal to be in pain when you're out there. There's probably less pain than you're normally in.
Yeah,
And I think when younger people are in pain, they're kind of like, oh, my elbow hurts.
Yeah.
These guys are like, yeah, mine hurts every fucking day. I
Yeah.
love my knees and my feet. And I
Oh.
think they can just tolerate,
yeah,
and they're just always paddling. I think
Yeah.
they're probably
Yeah.
80 miles a week
yeah.
paddling guys.
Emily's laughing at you because she thinks that you're joking about being in constant pain as you get older.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, I believe that. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
man, I like, another thing is, Zach and I did the Kai Bartlett clinic, and I've started doing this thing where I don't sit all the way back on my seat because my tail gets
I got
like,
the same thing, man. It fucking hurts.
yeah,
I
and
can barely
it
sit
goes
down now.
raw. I have like a scar that, yeah. And so I
It's
started.
ugly too, man, what your ass looks like with these freaking shit over there, dude.
And so I started sitting further up, like putting my seat maybe a little further back than normal and sitting up on the edge of it.
Yeah.
You're talking about a
And then
2 or
you-
6?
Um,
Or,
and, well, the
Not a
6 doesn't
six.
have the tail
right, that's
thing,
fine.
but, yeah, 2 and a 1.
Yeah, the 6 is a dream. Right
Yeah,
now.
right.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah,
Huh.
but yeah, so, and then I might scoot back a little bit, but usually like there's enough friction unless I like really am pushing hard and then I scoot back up. But I asked, because Kai was like, scoot your seat up. And I was like, what about my tail? And he said that, and I think he said he's going to start manufacturing seats like this, but he said he's been cutting out the back of his seats for his tail so that
Just
you can
V
still
cut?
get, yeah, like a V cut. And then someone else was saying that they, for their, like the tops of your femurs, like cutting out that too, because that's another thing that hurts on me,
Yeah.
is the top. So like during the race, it happened a lot later than I thought it would, because usually in like 8-mile races it happens at mile 6, and that sucks. This happened at like mile 20 something, where like my butt was just like done, so I would like scoot back up on the ledge of the seat and just like wedge my legs straight because it just hurt, like it needed a break.
It freaking hurts, man. It didn't bother me in the water at all, but when I got in the shower,
Oh
it woke me
yeah.
up. And I've been trained, did a downwind. I think I did a couple downwinds. So I paddled V1 and then I did a downwind yesterday. Well, I did 8 miles with Dalton, 4 miles downwind, 4 miles against freaking 20-something mile an hour winds. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dalton, yeah, friends don't let friends paddle up against the wind after a 31 mile against the wind race, you know?
Yeah. Was that yesterday?
He's like, that was awesome. I go, bro. That was yesterday. No, I can't even sit on my ass right now.
Oh, so you downwind, like you went paddle out.
We went around the loop, so we're paddling against
right,
current, against
yeah.
wind.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday I was trying to figure out. I was like, oh, could somebody like?
It's actually pretty good.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a better way to make a foam cushion seat.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of.
Yeah. I feel like.
Is he cutting it with a blade or is he using like heavier machinery?
I think he's just cutting it with a blade. He said it like
I'm
a
sure it's
razor
something
blade.
simple, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like you could make a 3D printed seat cushion.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be foam, it would be like resin.
You know what there should be though?
But it would be like ergonomically designed for your,
Yeah. There should be one though.
I don't want to do that.
That, you know how they have that like gel for like you put on your shoulder and it's like it's always stays jelly but it turns cold.
Yeah.
I was like they should have seats made like that so it like it does form to your butt when you're paddling, but you can pop it in the freezer before a race and it just like ices your butt while you're
It
racing.
wouldn't stay that cold that long though, especially in salt water.
But it would give you like
It
your
would be
muscles
cushy though.
would
Yeah, yeah.
like anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Dr. Scholl's.
Dr. Scholl's butt seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who else was there?
At the race.
Yeah. Zach was there, right?
There's so
Zach
many
was there.
people, man.
Okay. How'd that go?
He did really well. He got 507.
No, we mean, how you guys doing? No, I'm
No, no. Too good.
How does that feel? How does that feel to share that with your partner, boyfriend? Like that's a big.
It's
31 miles is a big deal. It's not like you're just
yeah.
going out to do a race together. I mean, this is like an emotionally draining, physically draining, exhausting thing you guys both do together,
Yeah.
but separately.
It's fun to hear like the stories after, definitely. While we're on the river, it's like you're so far apart from everyone, so you're not like
Mm-hmm.
You're in your own
"Hey."
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really until like the end. But I love that at the end, like, Mark had that cabin, and you had, like, chicken noodle soup.
Hot
and
cocoa,
hot
the chicken noodle soup
cocoa.
was freaking smoking, that was Marina, man.
Yeah, it's so
Oh my god, it was
yeah.
so good. Next year, I'm not gonna rush out of there.
Yeah,
He goes, I'm getting that again if you're gonna go, I go, oh, well, we're going back. I go, but next year, we're not rushing out of there.
Yeah.
We're gonna hang out in that spot for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Next year, I'm gonna put, Noah wants a crew in the 6-man.
oh,
So
nice.
Bobby,
Oh, yeah.
Michael,
Yeah.
Chris Skull, Mark Cron, one seat's open right now. But a boys crew,
Yeah.
a big boys crew, and just good people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
they'll
Yeah.
give me a year, and then we'll have them do their session right after our morning session on Saturday. They'll do their session.
Okay, yeah.
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 Or maybe the same
Awesome.
time, and we put them on twos, and we switch
Yeah.
things up a little bit, put the heat on. I
Yeah.
got some ideas.
What were you thinking these last couple of minutes, these last couple of miles? These last couple of miles, last
Ooh.
hour or so.
Well, you ain't thinking much, because first of all, you make the turn and you finally see the building, it looks like a haunted building,
Yeah.
and
And it's
it never comes.
forever away. Like, you're like, the building's so big, but those people are so small
That's the
next to
finish
it.
line.
It's like right around the backside of that.
Uh-huh.
And then, oh, when we came around the backside, so last year they had the initial buoy out further than they did this year. And I came around the corner and I was like,
They had a
What's-
buoy that you had to go around before you came in.
yeah.
'Cause I was wondering about that too. I was
Yeah.
like, that lady must be the buoy.
Yeah, I was like, why would they put the buoy up against the dock? And then I saw an OC6 paddling backwards through the sprint zone, and I was like,
That's what I thought too, same thing.
are we going backwards? And so I was like, all right. And so I started cutting across, and everyone on the dock started yelling.
Mm.
And I was like, I don't know what they're saying. Caitlin's like, I don't know either.
That's horrible.
There's your 4 seconds right there.
No, I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, you can see on like the Garmin where it's like, where. But finally, like, I heard one person say, like, this buoy, and I was like, no. So we turned back and came through. But, yeah, the last few hours of the race, I get this, like, really, like, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like you want to cry, you want to win so bad, but, like, you don't cry, or like, you can't.
Is it that you do want to, but everything in your life prepared you for this moment
No,
to,
yeah, that's
to deal
what,
with
it's like,
all the shit, you start thinking about all the shit you went through and you're like,
that's exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
Mm.
oh, yeah, and it's not like, if I win, that's the end, and that's my big goal in life. It's like, not like that, because even after we did win, it was kind of like, oh, like, well, now we gotta train for next year, I guess. Like, we were really happy, but we were also like, all right, let's, like, game plan for next year now, I guess.
But you went into the race trying to win.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to win, trying to beat the record.
but still the mindset is to go out there and feel good.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you can't go out there and feel good and be competitive, then
Yeah.
you're not on the right track. You should be able to go out there and
Not.
feel good, because it's just too long. You can't just go out there and just choke
Yeah.
yourself out. Why
Yeah.
race then? Well, that's
Yeah.
no fun. It's developed the skill and the fitness to a point where you can have a great paddle
Yeah.
and win.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was almost scarier for me
Mm.
going this year because I did it last year,
Right.
and I was like, oh,
No one's
I'm-
worse.
Yeah, knowing's way
Yeah.
worse, and I know Caitlin had never done it, and she was like, I like, we haven't done a ton of mileage in one go, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
It's like the plank thing I was telling you about, like how we would do 5-minute planks like every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then after Chattajack last year, I like didn't really have the mind to do like a workout session, and so I was like, I'm gonna put on Stranger Things and see if I can do 50-minute plank, and it
It's the same.
pays off.
It's the
Like,
same
just-
mentality, right?
Yeah.
And what that does is, and that's why, like, immediately I was talking to people about things I'm working on for next year,
Yeah,
because, and it's not like these big, massive, brilliant ideas. There's simple things that solve issues that I had. Like one was lower spine positioning.
oh yeah,
So I showed you that movement in
Yeah.
the gym for the lower
Yeah.
back. That's something I do 50 times a day, right? I'm on
Yeah.
band on 50 times a day. Now,
Yeah.
what that does is, it's not difficult, it's not hard, it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It starts to create a habit for my spine to be in the proper position when I'm setting the blade and pulling the blade, create more power.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's such a, because you're starting so early, right after the race, it doesn't take intensity to get it where you want it to be. It just
Yeah.
takes consistency.
Yeah.
So you can move mountains.
Yeah.
You just go grab a shovelful and throw it, and then the
Right.
next day grab a shovelful, and every day you're just grabbing a shovelful, throw. Pretty soon the mountain's cut in half,
Yeah.
and you've had this massive, you built another mountain on the other side, you moved it,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like that. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, you can really move the bar, but you
Yeah.
have to have vision and patience,
Yeah.
and then you multiply that times 3 years,
Yeah.
and then it
yeah.
really starts to add up.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen with like my own paddling is the progress is because all these things continue to add up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only like I've only been racing for a year.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that like to go from A to B, and that's just a year.
Yeah. What's great is you don't know shit yet, really.
No.
You're
Yeah.
just fucking learning, man.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
The more you dial it in, the better you're gonna be in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, and the goal is to make people around you better.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
the difference, man, is like,
Yeah.
it's one thing getting yourself to do it.
Yeah.
That's one thing, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing to help other people accomplish those things,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Definitely. Did you notice that in Chattajack there was 9 OC2 women's and there's 6 OC2 men's? And
No,
it's
I
like, I think that's the first time I've ever seen there be.
They should have had a shorter
Comparable.
course for you guys.
Yo,
You guys
what?
should, yeah, the ladies should have
That's
only done 20.
Ridiculous. Oh man.
He's
I
joking.
hate that.
She-
No, I know.
I do everything I can
Oh,
to
man.
frickin' fuel that thing. And just piss them off before
Oh.
a race, just get their guys on a little bit.
Oh, I hate those. Yeah. Anytime, I don't think anytime a race is shortened for the women,
Does that happen?
oh yeah.
Really?
And I
It's happened
haven't,
like 3 times in the last year.
Can you enter the men's race instead?
One wasn't necessarily, the weather was just worse, and I agree with that.
Because it was a different start time?
Yeah,
Okay, so that you can't
But-
really count because it was just.
You gotta give people the benefit of the doubt, and I do, but I just think they just need to be more wary, man. I mean, you know,
yeah.
people ask me how do I work with women? I'm like, well, they're fucking athletes. They're women
Yeah.
to me. You know what I mean? I don't
Mhm.
carry their shit. I don't freaking. They can handle their business.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference, I think. Is I don't think everybody looks at it that way because I've had many people say, "Let's go help them. Let's go
Yeah.
help." Well, why?
Yeah.
There were 6 dudes you wouldn't help. There were 2 dudes you wouldn't help.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. How
It's
many
sexism.
people probably offer to help you carry your canoe?
All the time. Even people that are just like pedestrians,
Yeah.
and they're like, "You want to help with that?"
Hey,
I'm
honey.
like,
Mhm.
Sweetie, you need a little help?
I know. Like, oh, yeah.
I need help shoving my foot up your ass.
Yeah.
Can you help me there? Maybe you spread your legs a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, if that ever happened to me when I've been entered in OC1, because one of the recent races, they did shorten the women's course. I don't even know why. They just shortened it,
Mm.
and
Yeah, that's mixed.
I asked someone who was competing, I was like, how do you feel about that? And they're like, oh, I don't really like to get into it. And I was like, oh, if I were entered in that, I would have just done the men's course no
Yeah,
matter
totally.
what.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
go
would have
up to
just
the men and
taken
do it.
the, like,
Do
if
you
they
hand
want
off
to
or
disqualify,
whatever.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want 20% off then.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I know, right?
20% shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
Yeah, here's
Yeah.
your check for $32.87.
right.
20% less than the.
Yeah, yeah. It's also another thing about like helping other people, like to be like Hildren has been so nice
Yeah.
with like from the beginning, and I've always looked up to her. And I think that's another thing, like if you can just be like a nice person, more people will come.
You mean nice about it?
Like just like open to talking, not kind of being like, I
Yes.
want to win. Okay, like
Yes.
yeah,
The goal, in my opinion, the goal is pretty simple. You want everybody to be the best they can absolutely be,
Yeah.
because it's the only way for you to get where you need to go
Right.
and get to the pinnacle of where you're going to be. Now, whether they're faster than you, or win or beat you,
yeah,
is almost irrelevant to the fact that if they weren't there, you wouldn't be as good as you could be.
yeah,
It's,
totally.
it's just simple, and eventually, you know, people are going to join teams to beat you guys.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
priority in the
totally.
works.
Yeah.
Priority in the works.
What do
Yeah.
you mean,
Hopefully.
like
Yeah.
alliances, like?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
hey man, look, you're the best over there. I'm the best over here.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
don't we
you
say we
just
go to
cross
Chad
it.
Jack and take a shot at the record next year and
Yeah.
go ahead and handle Caitlin and Emily? Yeah,
Yeah.
I love them, but we want to beat them.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. Yeah. Definitely.
You
How
know,
does that make you feel?
Well,
Good, man.
I think it's
Is
good.
it a
Yeah.
compliment to you, or is it a?
I think so, because then it's like, I mean, what are we gonna do? Just beat the record and have it sit there, and there's not gonna be any more women
right?
to
And who
like.
the fuck doesn't want to win?
Yeah.
And it's not even you like you want winning isn't everything. We paddle on Monday right after doing 31 miles on Saturday, drive home on Sunday. We paddle on Monday.
Yeah.
Almost everybody does, and it's just something that you do. Placement almost doesn't matter, but yeah,
Yeah.
everybody I think fucking wants to win.
Yeah.
You go, I shake hands with guys all the time and talk to them. I still want to fucking beat them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, even if I'm not even in their
Yeah.
class, I still want to get better, and that's
Yeah.
why it's such a beautiful sport.
Yeah.
And it's a small community, so you said you didn't know everybody, but I'm sure that you'll recognize people more and more.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I'm sure that like the
There's-
Florida races, you recognize everybody, but
Yeah.
Chattanooga, like you said, is a little more
It's-
international, so.
Yeah, it's weird because
Yeah.
some people you talk to all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some people you just kind of nod at.
Yeah.
Some people you don't talk to at all.
You're right.
Like, and
yeah.
there's people like you totally talk to on Facebook, but you don't say a thing in
Yeah.
person.
Right.
It's fucking
I
twisted, you
know.
know.
Oh,
And
you never-
I'm shy by nature too, so
Yeah.
I'm not like gonna go out of my way to talk to anybody because
Yeah.
I don't want to make them uncomfortable. It's
Yeah.
not because I want to talk to them, but I don't want to make them uncomfortable.
What if you see them out in public,
Wait. See who?
like people from other crews, local crews?
If I ran
You
into
see
them.
them at a restaurant.
If you run into them on
Normal
Maui,
clothes.
yeah, you probably wait.
Yeah.
You probably
Yeah.
be a little more interactive.
Yeah.
If you ran into them at a big race in Maui, you probably talk quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like because it's in your, you know,
Yeah.
it's just weird like that. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have that one bond, that Florida bond, if you're outside of
I
Florida.
think
But
so,
when you're
yeah.
inside of Florida, it's like,
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely that, like, there's a respect, but there's also, like, I don't want to beat the shit out of you, but, like, in a, you still respect them, though.
I totally feel
Yeah.
that way about every single freaking person I compete with. I
Yeah.
want to fucking beat them, and I'm willing to work and fucking do it. And I'm just,
Yeah.
some of it's patience and time and all that stuff, but I'm sure
Yeah.
they feel the same way.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
probably thinking you're never gonna beat me.
No, I know,
Chris, because
yeah.
I'm never gonna stop.
And
But
it's-
fucking, I'm coming one way or the
That's
other.
kind of a scary place to be, too, because then if you're, like, because Caitlin and I, in a lot of races here, if we do an OC2 race, it's usually, like, us at the front, and that's kind of like, we're not,
Well, that's why you compete with Dalton. That's why.
Yeah,
I keep
exactly.
That's why I switched your focus up.
yeah,
Because I can't be against
because
that
you
because
just sit
yeah.
in one, yeah.
But what's beautiful about the NIST race on Sunday
Yeah, that's,
is that Caitlin is racing Emily.
yeah,
oh yeah?
Yeah.
yeah,
So you guys are in OC ones?
yeah. And it's me, Caitlin, Hildren, probably Jennifer Peters. I don't
Yeah.
know.
My whole thought process on it was, you know, for her, you could OC2. I mean, you probably win. Probably maybe set the
Yeah.
record.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the
But,
point?
yeah.
You know, the point is that you want to finish on a high note. When you rather lose on a high note than win on a high note. And I think that taking on the challenge is the most important thing.
So you've
For the
raced,
long haul.
you've raced Hildren tons of times. Have you ever raced against?
No, I don't think
I
she's
only
ever.
raced
Yeah.
her
Oh, really?
once, and that was my first,
In the
OC1
OC1
race.
Okay.
yeah.
But
That's-
you've raced against her in 2s and 6s.
That's back in the bullshit days when you're just happy to be on the water.
That was,
Little dolphin!
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think Hildren still has that attitude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
she-
that's
she
right,
wins
yeah.
too.
She does, yeah.
Have you ever raced against Caitlin?
Never in a one,
Yeah.
no. never in a 2. I don't think I've ever raced her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna be?
I think it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
one
awesome.
of the hardest races.
That's gonna be
of
a
my
hard
life.
race for you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're all good.
There's like a lot of private bets going down who's
There's
gonna win.
so much.
There's
God.
a lot of like
Against
people
the
that talk to
entire-
me who pick who they're gonna win.
Against
Oh,
the two
that's-
of them or against the
And it's-
entire,
and it's-
lineup?
Against those two.
Uh-huh.
And basically, like, and I was explaining to Cindy the other day, I was like, baby, oh, well, I'm training Emily to beat Caitlin, and I'm training Caitlin to beat Emily.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't have a dog in the race. I'm basically, each one, I'm giving them whatever they need to win
Yeah.
and beat that other person.
Yeah.
Because what's that do?
Yeah.
That just makes the other person and back and forth just so much better. You're just basically fueling these things,
Yeah.
you know? So I tell her everything I can. I'm like, here's probably gonna be what's gonna happen, here's where you're gonna be, and I just,
Yeah.
what they do with it is up to them, but, you know, I think whoever has, out of those two, whoever has the patience and the technique is gonna come out on top.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? Are you anxious about it? Are you?
I think
I'm fucking anxious about it, I'm not even racing.
when I think about it, yeah, I feel it in my stomach.
Yeah.
But I try to like repress it, and then I think, because it was the same thing with like, I mean, this is a little more scary because it's kind of all of us, and especially like
It's more
Caitlin.
personal,
Yeah, it's more
because
personal.
it's in-house.
But I even felt that there was one race where I was like, because Jennifer Peters was really fast, and I was like, I want to beat her so bad.
Yeah.
And I got to the race and my stomach was just like, oh. And even when we started, like that, it's like that thing I had at the end of Chattajack where it's like, you gotta win. But that was for like the start of the race. And it was basically a downwind race. Like you paddled out, you
Yeah.
downwinded back. And that's just, I think we go out in downwinds a lot more than other crews.
We go, if there's downwind, we cancel it, we go
Yeah.
downwind.
Yeah. So that really worked out well for me in that race.
Yeah.
But
It's a totally different
flat
sport.
water is, yeah, so it depends on the conditions too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
paddling into the wind is a totally different sport. And then
Yeah.
paddling from the side, it's like, you know, flat water is very different than all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do a 15-minute downwind or 15-mile downwind and you'd be smoked.
Yeah.
But as soon as you hit the flat water, it's almost like starting over. You could do 15 miles if there's no wind comfortably because it's a different set of muscle groups in a lot of ways.
So
Yeah.
what are the conditions set to be for Nish?
Right now they're set to be, what is it, like 1.5?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, or no, maybe that was like the day before because I checked like, still like.
Oh, so you're down. You're fucking.
I want it to be
You're
like
all in.
crazy rough because I feel like that's where I
Mm.
excel is when it's in like really rough
Mm-hmm.
water. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's all open
I
ocean.
just feel
Is it out and back or
It's a tough battle, man.
is it inside at all or is it all?
Yeah, but the inside's fucked up in there. You
Yeah.
paddle in there. It's weird.
How many miles is
It's
it?
like in a little cove, but it goes out in the ocean and
Uh-huh.
yeah. How many miles is it? It's only like 9.
8 or 9.
You
yeah.
follow the shore or do you go straight out?
It's pretty confusing.
Yeah,
I got lost on the course last time, so I can't tell you yet.
Yeah.
So you don't
We
know.
won, but
Yeah.
I had some guns in the boat.
we didn't. Last year, it was me, Jennifer Peters, and Pam, and there was a collective decision to,
Oh, okay, we
yeah, cut the race short.
Yeah. Well.
Yep.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want a little redemption.
A little redemption.
So-
Yeah, I was super new. I felt like I couldn't say anything
Mhm.
because I thought that if I still wanted to do the outside, that people were gonna think that I didn't care about the other girls,
Mhm.
and now looking back, I don't think that would have happened.
Yeah, just a lesson.
Yeah,
I mean, you learn.
yeah.
Alright, so with that and your relationship with Caitlin,
Yeah.
I wish Caitlin were here so we could ask her this too, but is it more important to win the race or is it more important to beat Caitlin?
I think they're end up being one of the same.
They may,
Yeah.
but they may
They'll go to
not.
Jennifer
They may
that
not,
game,
though.
though.
They may not, though.
They got game,
Yeah.
I mean,
Eventually,
if you
he's
win,
gonna, I'm telling you right now, eventually there's gonna be 20 women there, like, you know,
Yeah, like.
and it's gonna be
he-
stress, because
Yeah.
they're coming on so strong, and they're such good
Yeah.
athletes, so mentally tough,
Yeah.
that, you know, the growth of I love it.
yeah.
I love it, yeah.
I think it'll change on like reality too, because sometimes you're in a race and you're like, all right, well, I only have this far to go, and that person's almost to the finish line. There's zero possibility that I can pass them now. But if someone's like already at the finish line and I'm lined up with Caitlin, then it changes to, well, now I have to be Caitlin.
Right, the dynamic changes, because you
Yeah.
have pressure on you from all positions now.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you got 4 people racing, you might be in second and go, oh, I got second. If the
Yeah.
person's a quarter mile behind you or whatever.
Yeah.
But if that person's on your deal,
Yeah.
you could be in second, it doesn't matter, it's a battle.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you know it's gonna take everything you got to get to that finish line to beat this person,
Yeah.
you know?
And I feel like Caitlin and I have very similar, like drives. You guys probably don't watch SpongeBob, but there's an episode where SpongeBob races his pet snail Gary,
I think I've seen it.
and Gary is like, he's training Gary super hard for this race, and Gary's like, he hasn't been training a whole year like the other snails, and but Gary wants to win for SpongeBob, and so like when he races, he's going, but he's like pulling apart and exploding and stuff, and he eventually just like combusts. But I feel like that's the same kind of like,
So you're
Sure,
saying
if you
you
want
want
it-
one for SpongeBob?
I don't know, like if you, like when you want it that bad, you're like, everything hurts so bad, but like you, that same thing, like you keep going no matter what, and like you're not really thinking about everything else, you're just like, have to do this until I explode. And yeah, I feel like Caitlin has that too, and that's why it's a little scarier,
Yeah.
because I know some people get tired, and they're like, oh no, I'm tired, but Caitlin and I are like, we're tired, but now we want to
Some people get tired and that's got nothing to fucking do with anything,
Yeah,
and it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
They just fucking, you
Yeah.
know.
Do you think that's something that's learned or something that you're born with?
Well, you know, if you take Claudia Clank and Peter Quigley, oh, you know, Pete Voss did a great job too, out there in Zoski Warren. But if you take Claudia Clank and Peter Quigley, I had no doubts as to whether they were going to finish, because I just know how mentally tough they are. You know, and there's a certain grit that you need to do it, and some people just have that grit, man. You know, Australians have it.
Yeah.
But some people, you just know they just have that fight where they're just never going to stop.
yeah,
It's got nothing to do with anything, they just won't quit.
yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear how the race goes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
That'll be our interview.
Are you racing too, Chris?
I'm racing OC6, I'm not doing
Okay.
any, yeah,
Okay.
You're not doing the two?
I'm not doing the two.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna do it, but I gotta get back, I gotta make money.
Oh, okay.
I'm already working on M2M, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm so far behind on everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm flying to Guadalupe,
Oh yeah. It's gonna be
Uh,
awesome.
January 5th,
Is that to surf or paddle?
to Downwind to
Downwind.
do a weekend for Downwinds. And then I'm all about M2. I'm all about M2M now, but
Yeah.
one more race.
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy the boys one last time.
Yeah.
Great, so we'll have them back next time?
Yeah, we'll get Caitlin and Emily in there.
Yeah,
That'd be
sounds
fun.
good.
And then I want to take on let's start doing spouses of.
Yeah?
Spouse.
Yeah, because Cindy does a lot, man.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how much she brings to the table when she goes to those events, and
Yeah.
you know, I want to hear her story so people can
Definitely.
hear what all the stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah. Somebody just.
All right, let's do it. Stay steady, friends. We'll talk to you soon.